What up, family? Happy Wednesday. Happy April. Man, it's already April 26th. It's crazy. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well. I jumped on here because I had something that was laid on me to share with you guys concerning the season of isolation. So, I don't know how many people have experienced like isolation that you didn't put yourself in isolation, but because of the changes that you have decided to make, because of the proclamations that you have made, like spiritually, um, like God has put you in a space of isolation. So I wanted to speak to that for some of people that might be new to it. For me, I've had multiple experiences of isolation. Some of them self-inflicted, but most of them like not by my own design, right? When I was younger, like anybody who knew me when I was younger knew that I was the quiet one. I was the quiet one. I wouldn't say much to many people. Um, Took a long time for me to grow out of that, grow out of my shell and all those things. And in that season of my life, it was a place of safety. But once I came out of my shell, it was a completely different experience. But that's a whole nother story that I'm not trying to get to today. The point that I want to make today is what to do in your season of isolation, right? So, um, because I have had multiple seasons of isolation, not by my own design, but by the design of God, based on the things that He has assigned me to do, what I have learned to ask is, what do you want me to learn in this season? Or if you just want me to be still, right? Not complacent, but still. Um, but in this season, what I have heard from Him is just to be reminded of like being able to distinguish His voice from all the other voices, right? So um, as you grow in Christ, and as you're pursuing your walk through daily life, even through finding yourself, one of the things that most people can probably relate to is there's so many voices, it's hard to distinguish His voice. Um, and so here's what I want you to consider. Um, One of the things that God tells us to do is let this word be in you richly, talking about His word, His written word, talking about the Bible. Let it be in you richly. And one of the reasons that is what He desires is so you'll know Him. Like you'll know His voice. You'll know the voice of Him in your head, and being able to distinguish between all the other voices, because it will line up with His word. He doesn't need to add anything to what He's already written or take anything away, because He's perfect. And so when it lines up with His voice, you can be assured that it's Him. Um, and then the other thing is getting to know yourself. So this was the high point um, of what I heard in sharing this video, sharing this with you, is that in this season of isolation, like, be sure that you know yourself. And what I mean by that is when things are bothering you, like, identify those things that are bothering you and be honest with yourself on how they make you feel. Even if you need to like write them down. If you're like me, you want to take a mental note. Um, but even if you need to write them down, like, identify how the different experiences in the season of isolation make you feel. In addition to that, like, remember how you move while you're in isolation. Remember how things have an effect on you, whether positively or negatively, while you are in isolation. And I keep saying that Let me translate it. While things are not loud, while you can't be influenced by excitement or dopamine, because those things are going to be very important in the next season of your life when things aren't quiet, when you're not in isolation, when the room is full, when there are influences everywhere. Like, can you identify God's voice? And also, do you remember how you react when you didn't have any of those influences, when you didn't have that dopamine hit, when you didn't have that adrenaline rush? Because when God puts you in isolation, he's preparing you to come out of isolation. When God has a call in your life, he takes you in isolation so you can hear him and so you can learn you. And so in this season, for me specifically, again, isolation is a familiar place for me. And, like, for one, it takes me back to what was comfortable when I was younger, but not so much even that. It has become, I just know that God is working on me in multiple levels. So I call it the shop. I stay in the shop. But in this season, just if you can relate to this, the advice that I will give you is to train your ear for the voice of God and pay attention to how you move while you're in isolation. Because it'll be very important once the switch is flipped. And trust me, seasons change. They always change. It's never all the way up. It's never all the way down. Seasons change. So, hope they help somebody. Y'all be encouraged. Get to know yourself. More importantly, get to know the voice of God. AKA, get in your word. Let his word be in you richly. This is Uncle Joe signing off. Let's get it.